So if those are the portfolio weights, I can calculate the portfolio return. You should remember this from your basic finance class. How do I calculate the portfolio returns using the individual returns? Have you guys actually covered this in your basic finance class?
You take the weights and multiply it by the returns for each one and add them all.
Yeah, it's a weighted average of the individual returns. Has anybody not seen portfolio returns and that kind of stuff in their basic finance class? I know I covered it, so. Okay. At least you've seen it. Since these add up to 1, all I have to do is sum product. When you give 2 or more arrays, basically for each row or column, depending upon how you give it, it multiplies them and adds up the products. In this case, I'm going to take the individual returns, okay? And I'm going to multiply them with their weights. Since I'm going to keep using the same weights, I'm going to hit F4 and make that fixed. Because when I copy this formula, the first argument is going to be changing. It's going to go from B3, E3 to B4, E4, but the second one is going to remain the same. So on November 22, 2004, this specific portfolio made only 0.96%. And double click, it calculated for the rest of it. Okay. Now, let's do this. I'm going to freeze the panes here so that as I move, I have the dates over there, and I also have the first 2 rows fixed. I want to calculate some stuff. Mean. It's basically the arithmetic average. Okay. Actually, let me do this just to show you how different they are. You are embarrassing me, keyboard. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Thankfully, this is also touch screen, so I can do this. So during the period from 22nd of April, 22nd of November in 2004 until last Friday, I think 18th was Friday? No. Monday, I'm sorry. It gives the date for the beginning of the week, but that also includes everything up to Friday. S&P 500 made 20 basis points per week. These are weekly. Sometimes I like multiplying these things by 52. That's kind of an APR number. It's not easy to relate to a weekly return number. Okay. On the other hand, during roughly 20 years, the portfolio of the investment grade corporate bonds made about 4%, gold made about 8.9, and international developed market stocks made about 6.5. This specific portfolio ended up making only 762. Okay. Now, I don't know if they covered this in your basic stats classes. One of the shortcomings of arithmetic average is that it is not a robust statistic, in the sense that it is influenced highly by outliers. Just looking at the portfolio numbers, there are weeks where that portfolio lost more than 13% in a week, and there are weeks it made more than 11% in 1 week. Okay. And this is a portfolio of 4 different asset classes, which are themselves all well diversified. So we're not talking about a small stock issue. If somehow that week it made 5% instead of 11, it's going to affect the average quite a bit. One alternative is the median. I'm going to actually take this down. Now, starts from 3 to 985. Instead of average, I'm going to use median. See how different they are? In all 4 asset cases, the median returns are much higher than average returns. That pretty much tells you that these returns have a what we call left skew. The left tail is longer because when it skews to the left, median is always greater than the mean. Remember, median is, if I order these returns from lowest to the highest, it's the one right in the middle. If it's an odd number, it's literally the one in the middle. If it's an even number of points, it's the average of the two. But Excel calculates that for you. That means, and the difference is very big, there are pretty big outliers on the left hand. There is a, let me put a number here as an input. There is another measure that kind of acts like a trade-off or a compromise between mean and median. What median does, it basically uses just the order information. Mean essentially uses all of the data, but it is not very robust. Median is very robust, but it ignores anything other than the order information. So on an informational theoretical sense, it may not be the most efficient way of aggregating those 984 numbers. The following is kind of a compromise, trim mean. Have any of you guys watched, in the old days, this was very popular, international ice skating tournaments? Typically there are, I think, 9 judges. The way each judge gives a score to the performer, they take the lowest, they take the highest, they drop them, they average to the main. It's kind of done for political reasons in the old days. If you remember, Soviets and Soviet bloc were pretty good in those areas, just like the Red China is these days. Of course, when there was a American performer performing, they typically got low scores from the East German judge, and when an East German or a Soviet performer was being evaluated, they got high scores. Of course, Americans gave them low scores, and vice versa. That was for political reasons, but here we kind of want to do something. We're going to say, we're going to drop a total 5% of the data, 2.5 from the left, 2.5 from the right.